lovelies, good morning and welcome to the start of a new weekly reading vlog. This week is going to be so exciting. I was approved for an e-arc of Our Vicious Oats by Annie Davenport. She's the author of The Blood Trials. I haven't read The Blood Trials yet, but I have it on my physical TBR. I've been meaning to read it, and basically when I read this one, I'm probably going to go on to reading The Blood Trial because I am super excited for this book. It's called Our Vicious Oats and it's coming out in October. I found out about it in like mid of January and I was like, darn, why is it coming out so late in the year? Because I really want to read it. It has all these tropes and aspects that I really want to read about. So the main characters are black, but what interests me is that the MMC, he is a black fae, and I've been saying this for years. I rarely see books with black fae characters, and if I have found any, I always end up DNFing them because they just don't give me what I've been wanting with fake characters. Like they just been lacking. But I feel like this one is really and truly what I've been looking for. It's a romantasy with a morally great male character, and he's fae. That is exactly what I've been looking for with like when it comes to black fake characters. And oh, it looks so good. I saw the fan art of the characters and like I'm interested. The guy's on the throne, the girl's on his lap, and like oh, the chemistry between them alone in just that fan art just caught my interest quickly. So ever since then, I'm like, okay, let me run to go request an arc, and I actually got approved for it. So that's exciting. I cannot wait to read it this week. But first, I have to get The Coworker by Freida McFadden off my agenda this week because my library request goes up in 2 days. So I have 2 days to read The Coworker by her. So yeah. I'm gonna read The Coworker first, and then I'm gonna pick up Our Vicious Oats. But I also have Out of the Woods and the Strawberry Pancake. What was it? The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. The titles of these books are so long. This is the first physical copy in this series that I've gotten. I read like the first two books in the series by Laurie Gilmore, but I've never owned them physically, but I bought this one physically because it's so pretty. All of the books in the series are pretty. But yeah, it's finally spring, so I was like, let me just buy this one physically and read it around springtime and see how that goes. So yeah, these two physical ones, these two romances are on my TBR as well this week, but it might be either one of them because I don't really know what I want to read other than Our Vicious Oath and The Coworker. So I'm gonna be choosing from one of them. So later in the week we'll see what I end up picking to read physically. Because the first two I don't own physically. But yeah, guys, welcome to the start of a new weekly reading vlog. I hope it's a fun week this week because that book alone has me so excited. I'm gonna hurry up and go read The Coworker so I can go on to read in Our Vicious Oaths because I'm so excited. When I got approved for the arc last night, I was reading my emails and I was like, wait a minute, Nick Galley, because that's the only arc I requested. I didn't really request arcs because I said I'm so afraid that I'm not gonna get to reading them and then it's gonna like disappoint the publisher because I didn't read the book and like put a review out for them. And also my score on Nick Galley goes down, and like when I really want to read a book before it comes out, that's when I approve it. And this is one book I really wanted to read, so it was the only request I made on Nick Galley and I got approved. I'm so happy. Like I'm jabbering. But yeah, let's start off this week's reading vlog, okay? It's a little bit later. Excuse this little stain my son put on me. But I started The Coworker and 28 pages in, 7% of the way through the Kindle. And it's interesting already. It is an office thriller. I've never read an office thriller, which I'm new to the thriller genre, so there's quite a lot of scenes and settings that I haven't read yet in this genre. So yeah, this is my first foray into the office thriller, and I think I'm gonna love it because office drama is one thing I enjoy watching, so I for sure will enjoy it in a book. So yeah, we have this lady Dawn. She is like very precise, always on time. She's always at her desk the same time every day. So we're reading the book through this perspective of Natalie, the sales rep. She's like very popular. She's always, what would you call it? She's very popular, beautiful, and just friendly. Unlike Dawn, who's very quiet. Everyone considers her weird because she's always very fixated on stuff and always on time. And makes everything sound like it's super important when it might be not as important for everyone else. But yeah, so Dawn is a weird one at the office, but everyone else looks at her as being weird. But it's so weird now because Dawn isn't at her desk the time that she's always at her desk, and Natalie notices because everyone knows Dawn is always at her desk at this specific time. She's always at work. She never misses work. So it's weird that she isn't coming to work. And Natalie answers Dawn's phone when it rings at her desk, and someone on the line says, "Help me," in a really panicked way. So no, Natalie's worried and wondering if something happened to Dawn because Dawn isn't at work the time that she's always at work. And I'm so invested. That's all I've so from what that's what I've gotten from what I've read, and I don't know where it's going, but yeah, it looks like something happened to Dawn, and I guess Natalie's gonna get caught up with that because she is worried about Dawn and she's trying to figure out what happened to her. So yeah, that's a coworker so far. I'm really interested in to see where it's gonna go because I don't know. I just really like Freida McFadden's book. They're so fast paced and they're so chilling and they grasp my attention really quickly all the time. So I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm gonna see where it takes me, and hopefully it shocks me. But that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm hoping for. Some little shock filled moments. So yeah, that's the coworker so far. And after I read the coworker, I'm gonna jump right into our vicious oats because I'm excited for that one. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go back to reading the coworker and see how it goes. Yesterday I finished The Coworker by Freida McFadden, and I loved it. I really loved it. I thought the characters in there were really interesting, especially the main character you were seeing through her POV. I don't know, there's something about thrillers where when the character is very unlikable, like you totally find out that they're not really who they say they are. I really like that. I really like unlikable characters when it comes to thrillers. When it comes to fantasy books and the character is like disgusting, I find that I can't read the book at all. But when it's a thriller, I'm just like, I'm here for the fun. I don't care about any of your characters. The more hateable, the more despicable you are, the better. like so I was really eating up the coworker and the office drama. Like the more I was finding about who's doing what and what secret they have, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying it a whole lot. So the coworker gave it 4.25 stars. I would say it's what I think with the Freedom McFadden books, I love The Housemaid first, then Never Lie, then The Coworker, and then Wardy. Yeah, that's how I would rate it. The Boyfriend was the least favorite of all for me. Like, I still don't consider The Boyfriend a really good book, to be honest. It was a 3-star book for me. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Coworker. It was thrilling. Like I enjoyed the whole experience of reading it, and I read it in one day because you can tell I enjoyed it because I read it in one day. But I think Freedom McFadden's books are bingeable overall because it's her writing. Something's in them. It just makes you want to keep reading. So yeah, I had a great time with a coworker yesterday. It was so good. It was really good, and the ending too. I was like, ooh. I realized with Freedom McFadden's characters, they're not really morally right, and honestly, I don't care. Like I like that about them. So yeah, I enjoyed the coworker. It was a really fun read. Definitely go check it out if you haven't read it and you're into reading thrillers. So now I'm picking up Our Vicious Oats by Annie Davenport, her first foray into romantasy and one of my first arcs of this year. I don't think I'm gonna get any more like e-arcs because this is like a one-time thing for me. I don't like requesting advanced reader copies because I feel pressured. But like this one, I'm definitely excited to read. I'm so happy that I got it. Like I was holding on hope. I was just like counting down the days till October. I was October 25th until this book releases, but now I got it, so I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. And I did decide for my physical book, I'm gonna read The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. That's what I decided to pick up this week physically. So yeah, Out of the Woods. I was reading the snuff list more and more. I'm just like, I don't think I really care about characters that are already together but going through like a second chance romance. I'm not really a fan of that, and I didn't really know that's what Out of the Woods was about. But I can read that, but right now I'm not in the mood for that. I love reading romances where they're just meeting each other for the first time. I don't really like second chance romances. So yeah, so that's why I went with The Strawberry Patch Pancake House to read that instead for my romance this week because I know me. I know what I love with romance books. So I am going to still read Out of the Woods, but not right now. Maybe sometime later this year. So yeah, let's begin our vicious oath. Good morning. It's Friday, and I think yesterday I started reading The Starry Patch Pancake House. That's what you call it? Yeah. This title's so long, I'm always wondering what it's called. But yeah, so that's my current read right now. I'm almost halfway through this book. It reminds me a whole lot of what is it called? Lost and Lassoed. Yeah, Lost and Lassoed. That's it, the third book in the Done and Dusted series. And it's probably because it's also a small town vibe, and the main girl, she's kind of irresponsible and all over the place, like Teddy was in Lost and Lassoed. It's gonna remind me a whole lot of Lost and Lassoed because of that reason, and it's also the nanny trope. So she is taking care. The main girl in here, Iris, she's taking care of this guy's kid. While it's a whole situation, to be honest. Like I've never actually read anything like that or watched anything with that type of situation where this guy, he discovered that he has a daughter. He didn't know she's 5 years old. Um, he was with the mom years ago. It was like a little fling, and she had the daughter, and she had the daughter, and she lived in this small town, but he never knew about it. He's like this high profile chef. Like he has his dream to be a Michelin star chef, and he's living in Paris. But turns out the mom died, and now he's responsible for this child that he didn't know about. So it's a whole new situation for him while he's also having to get a job in the small town so that he can take care of his daughter and show that he's responsible and all that. And so he meets Iris, and Iris, she has like a whole situation with her life where she's all over the place. She doesn't have a stable job. So she becomes a nanny for him because she needs a stable job, and she's a living nanny. So it's like that. They're living together, and it's very sweet and a little bit serious at the same time. So I am enjoying it, honestly. Like, I think the first book in this series I didn't really love, but the second book I definitely love a whole lot more. And this one, I say I love it way more than the first book as well, too. I don't know what was with this first book, but I didn't really love it. I am also listening to the audiobook of this book because I just love the narrator's voice in this series. I don't know what is there, like her tone just sounds so good. And I just love hearing her speak. So that's why I've been listening to the audiobook while also reading it physically. And yeah, I'm enjoying the Starry Patch Pancake House. It's like really good. I tried to match with it yesterday with my t-shirt because like it's a strawberry shortcake t-shirt, and I'm like, oh, I'm reading this, so might as well match, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading. I did pick up Our Vicious Oaths the day before, and I read a little bit of it. It's a long book. It's a long fantasy book, so I don't know when I'm gonna finish it, and I want to take it slowly since it's gonna be released way down later in the year. I don't want to read it too fast. Same with Outbound. I still haven't finished Outbound because I'm trying to take it slowly and just enjoy it for what it is, because who knows when the last book is going to be released in that series, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading, and the plan today is to finish this one, and then I guess I'm going to read some bits more of Our Vicious Oaths and finish up the vlog there this weekend. So yeah. Coming up in April, I've decided not to go the TBR route because lately, from this year has started, I realized I'm not following my TBR, and that's because I'm really just a mood reader. And lately, because I'm kind of hitting a reading slump in a bit, because I'm really confused on what I want to read. So I decided in April not to do a TBR at all. I'm just going to pick up books on my physical shelf, and anything I see that I just immediately want to read, I'm going to take that route and just mood read basically. And I always do this every year where I will mood read for like a month or two and not pick a TBR. That always gets me back into the reading mood because I feel like I'm hitting a slump, and it's because I'm setting TBRs for myself and I'm not reading what I want to read. I'm not reading books that excite me at the moment. I'm just reading books that I set my TBR, and I'm keeping the ones that excite me for later, and then the excitement is lost. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you get it. But yeah, because I'm setting like a restriction on what I want to read, it's limiting my fun, basically, is what I'm saying. So April, no TBR for me. Just gonna read whatever. I do have in mind some books that are the idea of them excite me, like Our Vicious Oaths. I did start that one, but I'm not gonna finish it in March, obviously. So it is on my April TBR. So that's one for sure. Because like I was just reading it this morning, and it's so fun. So I'm gonna continue reading it into April and finish it hopefully then. And I still need to finish Outbound, but like I'm taking a break on Outbound because it's just so difficult for me to read because I have so much emotion surrounding that book. Like the characters, it's just the worst things happening for them, and I'm just not enjoying like what's happening. Not in a bad way, just like it's stressing me out. I don't want to be stressed out reading the book, so Outbound is on a break for me right now. I'm gonna continue it whenever I feel like it, I guess. But yeah, April, no set TBR. But today I am gonna finish the Starry Patch Pancake House because I was supposed to finish it Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday I didn't get to finish it. I went on some errands, and then Saturday I did no reading whatsoever on Saturday. I just watched movies. I was just chilling Saturday, so I didn't do any of that. And today I'm gonna finish it because I've made it 71% of the way through this book, so it should be easy to finish it today. And then I'll just finish up this vlog and let you know my thoughts on this one towards the end when once I'm all finished with it. So yeah, that's a reading plan today. I don't really have anything else I want to do today. I'm gonna do some more laundry. I did fold a lot of clothes yesterday, but I still have a lot more to do. And I think I need to wash those pillows. Yeah, so I'm gonna do some laundry today and read the rest of this one and think about what I'm gonna pick up next. Other than Our Vicious Oats, I'm currently reading that one, but I want to pick up something else physically and read that one. Okay, so I just finished the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. I know Noah it's called that because the whole time I was reading the book, I'm like, there are mentions of strawberries and there is a whole strawberry festival going on at the end. But like, why is it called that? So finally, I figured out why it's called that. So it all makes sense now because I'm like, all her other books, the titles made sense, but this one, it takes a while to understand why it makes sense. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a whole lot. I give it 4 stars, a solid 4 stars because there was a point towards the end, like the third act breakup, that type of stuff. I hate when books do it in a not creative way, and this one was not creative. It was like very expected. I saw it coming a mile away. Like it was so typical. But otherwise, I did really love the characters. I like Archer, and I love how Archer just picked up his responsibilities, even though he got them like very unexpectedly. He was willing to like change his whole life just to take care of his daughter, even though he did not know about her. But I really love how he was determined to just take care of his kid. Like that was so sweet. I enjoyed it a whole lot about this book, and I was just reading mainly because of that. I'm like, oh, like him being a dad is so sweet, and how he's stressed out whenever like new situation will happen with his kid. It was so fun. And then now with Iris, now like she was not the best nanny, not gonna lie. Like she did not know anything about a kid. She's always freaking out whenever the slightest thing will go wrong with Olive. Like that's the little girl Olive. Every time anything will go wrong with Olive, she would freak out because she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know how to be a nanny. Like, and then like the situation where they're like in close proximity with each other because they live together because she's doing a living nanny job. So that made for great chemistry between Archer and Iris. So I was enjoying those bits about the book. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed reading The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. It was fun. It was sweet, very lovey-dovey. I enjoyed it. And I guess this week I just read two very different books, a romance and a thriller, which are office thriller. So I'm looking forward to reading more Freida McFadden thrillers. And actually, I'm thinking soon I'm gonna look into some thrillers outside of Freida McFadden. I want to just read only hers because I know hers are like the really popular, like fast-paced, fun thrillers. But I think I want to go venture into some different type of thrillers by different authors. So I'm gonna do some research on that and see if I find any books like with really similar vibes but by different authors. Because once you get into a new genre, don't stick to just one author. But like she's just my comfort thriller author for now. But that's because I first read a thriller by her. Like I did read A Silent Patient, but I really hated that one. Honestly, I very rarely love books written by men, so that was expected to be honest. So yeah, I didn't enjoy The Silent Patient, but I'm gonna try and look for some thrillers because I'm in the mood for thrillers still. Like sometimes I just don't really love reading about just romance because even with fantasies, it is focused a whole lot on romance. At least the fantasies I read. And like I want to read Outbound, but I feel like I'm kind of in like a fantasy reading slump. I don't know. It's like specifically whenever I pick up a fantasy book, I'm just like feeling kind of bored and like lazy reading them. Like even Our Vicious Odes, I'm really excited. I'm happy that I got the arc, but I feel lazy whenever I'm reading it. Like it's exciting, but my brain is just like not very focused and like you know, it's just a whole lot. So that's why I've been mainly reading like little light romances and thrillers for the most part this past few weeks because I can feel it. I mean, heading into a reading slump, and whenever I try to read my usual genres, when I'm headed into a reading slump, that just makes it worse. So that's why I've been switching it up with genres, and that's why I'm not doing a TBR next month because I need to get back on track, need to love reading again. Like I still love reading. Like I am still reading. I think I read like 6 books this month, but I can feel like I'm not enjoying what I usually read, and it's because of the slump. And I really have so much fantasies. I can look at them right now. I have so much fantasy books on my shelf that I want to read, like Quicksilver, Oakbound, Finale. I still haven't read Finale. I still haven't read The Cordon of Crystal Keeps. Like I want to read those books, but it's a whole dilemma. Yeah. So yeah, this concludes this week's reading vlog. Hopefully next week I feel in a better reading mood, and hopefully I have some great reads ahead of me. I'm still gonna read Our Vicious Oaths because I know it's a book I'm gonna really love. And from what I've read, I've been enjoying it, but I just feel like lazy whenever reading it because it's a fantasy, it's a high fantasy, but like I'm still excited. I guess I'm gonna wait till a more exciting moment for me, and maybe I'll go reread Sword Heart because I did get a copy of the new release, and I really love that book. Like it wasn't a 5 star, but I really loved it. And honestly, sometimes I'm like, I should have just given it 5 stars because it's always on my mind. And I love the beautiful new cover I got. Like it's so pretty. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe I should reread because I'm not in the right mood right now. So maybe a reread is what I need, like a fun fancy reread. Yeah, it's probably what I need to do to get back into that great headspace of mine. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this week's reading vlog, and I hope to get to see you guys in the next one. So goodbye for now.